You ever feel like you're working all day but nothing meaningful gets done? Like your mind is scattered, your time is slipping, and the life you want keeps getting pushed further away? It's not your fault. The world is designed to steal your focus, but there's a way out. In the next few minutes, we'll uncover 10 powerful truths from a book that could rewire the way you think, work, and live. Not just a summary, a transformation. This video is different. It's not here to inform you. It's here to shake you awake. So don't blink. Don't skip. Because if you watch till the end, this might just be the day everything changes. Chapter 1. Why Shallow Work is Killing Your Potential. You wake up, check your phone. A message, a reel, a notification, and just like that, your mind is already scattered. You sit down to work, but before you begin, another distraction pulls you in. A video, an email, a random thought. Hours pass, and by the end of the day, you feel exhausted, but strangely, empty. Because deep down, you know you didn't create anything meaningful. You were busy, yes, but not effective. This is the silent killer of dreams. It doesn't scream, it doesn't hurt. But slowly, it takes your time, your energy, your brilliance, and replaces it with shallow tasks, fake productivity, and digital noise. It convinces you that you're working hard when all you're doing is reacting, responding, consuming, and the worst part, you don't even notice it happening. But here's the truth. The world doesn't reward you for being busy. It rewards you for being focused. The highest paid, most successful people, they don't work more. They work deeper. When they sit to write, to build, to think, the world fades away. They enter a zone where real progress is made, not on the surface, but at the core. That's deep work. And it's becoming more rare and more valuable. If your life feels stuck, if your goals feel out of reach, if your energy fades by noon, it's not because you lack talent or drive. It's because shallow work has taken over. And until you learn to escape it, no amount of hustle will save you. But the good news? You can break free. And once you do, you'll tap into a level of clarity, power, and potential you've forgotten you had. Ready to find it again? Let's go deeper. Chapter 2, The Hidden Power of Deep Work. Imagine this. You're working on something that matters. Time disappears. The noise fades. You're locked in, focused. Every idea flows effortlessly. Every action feels powerful. When you finally look up, hours have passed, but instead of feeling drained, you feel alive. That is deep work. Most people never reach that state, not because they can't, but because they're too distracted to find it. Deep work isn't just about getting things done. It's about creating something that lasts. It's where your best thinking happens, where real breakthroughs are born. It's not just more work, it's better work. This isn't just some productivity hack, it's a competitive advantage. The kind of focus most people have lost is now rare, and that's exactly why it's so valuable. While others waste hours switching between apps and checking updates, those who master deep work are building skills, writing books, solving problems, changing their lives. In a noisy world, attention is currency, and if you can learn to direct yours without being pulled in every direction, you become unstoppable. You start producing at a level others can't match, not because you're smarter, but because you're fully present. Deep work turns ordinary hours into extraordinary results. It takes the same amount of time, but gives you a different life. And once you feel it, once you see what you're truly capable of, going back to shallow distractions feels like poison. This is the kind of focus that can build empires, write history, and transform you from the inside out. But it's not automatic. It's a discipline, a choice, a skill you can train, and you're about to learn how. Chapter 3. Focus is the new superpower. Everywhere you look, people are distracted. Their eyes on screens, their minds jumping from one thing to another, scrolling, swiping, refreshing, again and again. Attention spans are shrinking, noise is increasing, and silence feels uncomfortable. In a world like this, the ability to focus is no longer normal. It's rare. And anything rare becomes powerful. Most people can't go 5 minutes without checking their phone. They start one task, but before it ends, they're already thinking about the next. Their days are full, yet their goals remain untouched. But here's the truth no one tells you. Your ability to focus deeply on one thing is more powerful than hours of shallow multitasking. When you train yourself to concentrate, truly concentrate, you unlock a level of performance that most people never reach. You begin to learn faster, solve harder problems, and finish what others barely start. This kind of focus multiplies your value in the world. It's not about working harder, it's about going deeper while everyone else stays on the surface. Think of your brain like a laser. When scattered, it lights up nothing. But when focused, it can cut through steel. That's what deep work does. It gives your thoughts weight, your time meaning, and your work impact. Today, anyone can send emails, reply to messages, or create content. But only a few can sit down, block out the world, and produce something original, something that matters. And those few, they're the ones rising above, quietly dominating in a noisy world. Focus isn't just a skill anymore. It's your superpower. The question is, will you train it or waste it? Because every moment you choose focus, you're building a future no distraction can destroy. Chapter 4. Train your brain to resist distraction. Your brain wasn't designed for constant stimulation, but today, it's flooded with it. Every ping, every scroll, every click, it's like junk food for your mind. And just like your body craves sugar after too much candy, your brain now craves noise. That's why silence feels uncomfortable. That's why doing nothing feels wrong. But here's the twist. True focus begins where distraction ends. If you want to do deep work, you have to retrain your mind. Not to chase stimulation, but to sit with silence. To stay in one place, with one thought, for longer than the world allows. And that starts with one simple but powerful idea. Boredom is not your enemy. It's your gateway. Most people escape boredom the second it shows up. Standing in line, phone. Waiting in traffic, music. Sitting alone, scroll. But when you constantly run from boredom, you weaken your mental muscles. You teach your brain to always escape, never sit still. And the result? You can't focus. Not because you don't want to, but because your mind was never trained to stay. Want to become powerful? Embrace boredom. Let it stretch your mind. Sit in silence and observe your thoughts. Delay the impulse to check your phone. Give your brain space to breathe, to wander, to think deeply again. This is mental conditioning. Every time you resist distraction, you're building endurance. Every moment you stay in focus, you're rewiring your brain to handle depth. It won't feel natural at first, because you've been conditioned to crave noise. But the more you practice stillness, the more control you gain. And here's the truth. The world will always try to steal your attention. But you can train yourself to protect it. You can become someone who's not just productive, but unshakably focused. Because when you master your mind, everything else begins to change. Chapter 5. Design your day like a monk. What if your day wasn't ruled by notifications, tasks, and interruptions, but by intention? Imagine waking up knowing exactly what matters, when to do it, and how to protect it. No chaos, no confusion, just pure focus. That's not just a fantasy, that's the way monks live. And if you want to do deep work, you need to learn from them. Monks don't live distracted lives. They don't jump from one thing to another at checking their phones every 5 minutes. Their power comes from structure, quiet, deliberate structure. And in your noisy world, that structure can become your secret weapon. You need to build your day around focus, not fit focus around your day. That means creating rituals that pull you into deep work automatically. A specific time, a dedicated space, and a clear rule. This is sacred. No messages, no multitasking, no social media, just you, your work, and full attention. The most successful creators, thinkers, and leaders all do this. They don't leave their deep work to chance. They plan it, they defend it. Some block out 2 hours every morning. Others work in short, intense bursts. What matters is consistency. When your brain knows it's time to focus, it obeys. When it doesn't, it wanders. And it's not just about when you work, it's also about when you don't. Deep rest is just as important as deep focus. You can't run on empty and expect brilliance. That's why breaks, walks, silence, and even doing nothing are part of the system. You're not a machine. You're a mind that needs space. Designing your day like a monk isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's choosing depth over noise, purpose over reaction. It's building a daily life that supports your goals, not one that sabotages them. Because when your day is shaped by focus, your life is shaped by progress. And that changes everything. Chapter 6. Quit the noise, especially social media. You don't realize how loud the world is until you step away from it. Until you close the apps, silence the notifications, and for the first time in a long time, You can actually hear yourself think. That silence? That's where your clarity lives. But most people never find it because they're buried under noise, especially the kind that looks innocent, like social media. It doesn't seem dangerous, just a quick scroll, a few likes, maybe a post. But hours disappear. Your attention gets sliced into 1,000 tiny pieces. You compare, consume, react, but rarely create. It feels like connection, but it leaves you drained. And the worst part? You didn't even choose it. The algorithm did. Deep work and deep focus can't survive in this storm of distractions. That's why you have to quit the noise, not completely, but intentionally. You don't need to delete everything. You just need to ask one question. Does this tool serve my purpose or steal from it? If it doesn't help you grow, build, learn, or connect in a real way, cut it out. Social media isn't evil. It's just loud. And unless you take control, it will control you. Every tap, every click, every refresh is a trade, a piece of your focus, your energy, your time. And once you give those away, you can't get them back. The most powerful minds in the world don't scroll all day. They create, they build, they go deep, while everyone else stays shallow. That's the cost of greatness, saying no to the noise so you can say yes to what matters. You don't need more apps. You need more intention, more silence, more space to think, to breathe, to do real work that changes your life, not just distracts you from it. So turn it off. Step away. Reclaim your attention. Because your future is worth more than someone else's feed. Chapter 7. Guard your time like a warrior. Time is the most valuable thing you have, but most people treat it like it's endless. They give it away to pointless meetings, endless emails, and distractions disguised as urgent. They say yes to everything, respond to everyone, and wonder why their goals never get done. The truth is harsh. If you don't protect your time, the world will steal it from you. Deep work requires space. It needs silence, intention, and uninterrupted time to go deep into your best thinking. But shallow tasks creep in like thieves. A 5-minute reply here, a random call there, a quick update that turns into an hour of small talk. These moments feel harmless, but they're destroying your momentum. You need to treat your time like a warrior guards his castle, fiercely, unapologetically. That means setting boundaries. That means learning to say no, not because you're rude, but because your time is sacred. It means checking emails on your schedule, not theirs. It means planning your day with purpose, not just reacting to what pops up. And this isn't about being cold or distant. It's about respect for your time, your goals, your mind. Because every shallow task you eliminate, every boundary you enforce, gives you back something priceless: focus, energy, and control. The people who rise, who create, who build legacies, they don't spend their day putting out fires. They carve out space to think, to create, to go deep. While the world is running in circles, they're building something that lasts. Your time is your power. Guard it. Use it with intention. Because every minute you waste on shallow noise is a minute you could have used to build the life you want. Chapter 8. The science behind meaningful work. There's a reason why some days feel deeply fulfilling and others leave you empty, even if you were busy the whole time. It's not about how much you did, it's about how you did it. Real satisfaction doesn't come from checking boxes. It comes from getting lost in something that matters. That feeling of being fully absorbed, fully alive, that's not random. That's called flow. And deep work is how you get there. Science shows that when you enter a state of deep focus, where your mind is locked in, distractions fade, and time disappears, your brain releases chemicals that make you feel joy, purpose, and peace. It's one of the most powerful mental states a human can experience. But here's the secret. You can't reach it while multitasking. You can't reach it while your attention is divided. It only comes when you go all in. Meaningful work isn't always glamorous. It's often quiet. It looks like hours of focused effort, deep thinking, slow progress. But beneath the surface, something incredible is happening. You're not just working, you're growing. You're becoming someone stronger, clearer, more capable. And that change stays with you long after the task is done. Deep work connects you to something bigger than just productivity. It gives your actions weight. It makes you feel like your time has meaning, like your work matters. And in a world full of shallow noise, that kind of meaning is rare and powerful. So if you've been feeling lost, stuck, or unfulfilled, maybe it's not because your goals are wrong. Maybe it's because you haven't gone deep enough into them. Maybe the missing piece isn't more ambition, it's more attention. When you align focus with purpose, you don't just get more done, you finally feel alive doing it. That's the power of meaningful work. And that's what deep work can give you. Chapter 9. Your deep work blueprint starts today. You don't need more motivation. You need a system, a way to break the cycle of distractions and finally step into the life your potential has been begging for. Deep work isn't just an idea, it's a daily practice. And you don't have to wait for the perfect moment. You can begin right now. Start small. Pick just 1 hour tomorrow. 1 hour where you cut off the noise. No phone, no tabs, no notifications. Choose one task that actually matters. Something that moves your life forward. Then go all in. Not halfway, not kind of, fully present, fully focused. Then make it a ritual. Same time, same place. Treat it like an appointment with your future. Because that's what it is. Deep work isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things with your full attention. And the more often you step into that space, the more natural it becomes. Track your focus. Notice what pulls you away. Catch yourself. Not with guilt, but with awareness. Every time you resist distraction, you build mental strength. Every time you return to focus, you train your brain to go deeper next time. Set rules for your day. When will you check messages? When will you rest? When will you build? Don't leave it to chance. Design it. Protect it. Own it. And remember, this isn't about perfection. You'll mess up. You'll get pulled in. But the difference now is that you're aware. You're intentional. You've chosen depth in a world that drowns in the shallow. Start with 1 hour, one task, one decision to take your mind seriously. That's how focus is built. That's how deep work begins, and once it does, everything changes. Chapter 10. Discipline now, freedom later. Everyone wants freedom. Freedom of time, freedom of money, freedom to live life on their terms. But here's the truth no one wants to hear. Freedom isn't the starting point, it's the reward. And the price is discipline. Deep work feels hard. It demands effort. It means saying no when everyone else is saying yes. It means choosing silence over comfort, structure over chaos, focus over noise. But every time you do it, you're building something most people will never have. Control. Discipline is what makes you sit down when you're tired. Stay focused when it gets boring. Push through when distractions are screaming for your attention. And that kind of discipline doesn't just give you better results, it gives you freedom. The freedom to finish what you start. The freedom to build something meaningful. The freedom to live without regret. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be committed. Every deep hour you invest compounds. It sharpens your mind, strengthens your will, and takes you one step closer to a life most people only dream about. While others scroll, you create. While they drift, you decide. While they stay stuck, you move forward, inch by inch, day by day. This isn't about working like a machine. It's about living with intention. Because when you choose discipline now, you earn the freedom everyone else is still chasing. So ask yourself, in a world that begs you to be distracted, will you choose depth? The life you want is already waiting, but only if you're willing to focus. If this video sparked something inside you, don't let it fade. You've just learned how deep work can change your focus, your habits, your future. But this is just the beginning. On this channel, every video is built to move you forward, to make you think deeper, live smarter, and become unstoppable. So if you're serious about changing your life, don't stop here. Go check out our next video. Maybe it's Atomic Habits, maybe it's the 5 a.m. Club. But whichever you choose, it'll push you further. And if you felt connected to this journey, drop a like, share it with someone who needs it, and hit that subscribe button. Because your mind deserves better content than just entertainment. This is Book Summary Vault, and we're just getting started. See you in the next video.